cannoli, bro. There we go. All right, we're coming live to me in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, and good whatever time it is, and welcome to another episode of Trevantine, the podcast in which you get to hear the thoughts. I apologize, I'm trying to fix my mic real quick. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions of an 18-year-old high school and senior being affected by the coronavirus. This is the podcast in which we have 3 segments. 1, today's headlines. 2, what I did yesterday / what I'm doing today. And 3, how coronavirus has affected us. Mainly for me, but I'll go into how it's affected, I guess I could apply it to everyone else. So let's start off going right into the news today, getting into our first segment. And we'll just read today's headlines. Starting off from the New York Times, we see that the global Labor Day demonstrations are reimagined in cities under lockdown. It says May 1st is usually a day of demonstrations around the world as employees turn out to commemorate International Workers' Day, also known as Labor Day. Not Labor Day in the United States, though. Odd. Because of the pandemic and the annual demonstrations have been reimagined and in some cases halted, groups of people in Athens, hundreds of Greeks are gathering, wearing masks, gloves, and standing 6 feet apart. Definitely something interesting to see. I find that intriguing that they're still doing demonstrations under this time, but it's a good thing because, we all got to get out of the house eventually, and it seems like they are just doing that very thing. So they're doing their job, they're getting out, but they're still being safe about it, so that's good to hear. Next headline we have is, in China, travelers rush to take advantage of the loosened restrictions. Friday kicks off Labor Day, a long weekend in China, and the biggest extended holiday since the country began to loosen up its international restrictions, first implemented in January. So that after months of lockdown, quarantine, and fear, people are rushing to take advantage of this new moment. It says moments after Beijing announced on Thursday that it would lift its quarantine requirements, airline ticket booking shot up 15% higher than in recent levels, according to Qunar, a online travel service in China. It says the number of tourists who booked trips in April increased by 300% over March, according to Zihuan, the state's news agency, citing the data from Trip.com, a travel agency. Roughly 70% of the country's tourist attractions have been reopened, and many of them are offering free entry or other promotions. Lu Sugang, China's Minister of Culture, said in a news conference on Thursday. They said while encouraging tourism as a means of economic revival, official reminded travelers that life had not returned back to normal yet, and tourist attractions will be limited to 30% of their usual capacity. Many people are still fearful of this pandemic are still staying at home, which is good. But at the same time, you can't live your life in fear. If you live your life in fear, then you just won't really do anything or really live life. We saw this with the Cold War, and you can't just live in a shelter all your life. That's not living, man. You just gotta keep on living, like Matthew McConaughey said in Dazed and Confused. But anyways, next headline we have is South Africa cautiously ends one of the world's strictest lockdowns. South Africa said to lift the nationwide lockdown on Friday, but has continued to implement strict social distancing measures, including face mask rules, and as a nation that is already under siege with HIV, they prepare for a new threat of the seasonal flu. So, if you don't know, they have a large amount of people with HIV in South Africa, and they said that since this whole coronavirus thing, and because of all these people with HIV, they are more likely to get the sickness and then pass on. So they're more susceptible and vulnerable than most other people are. So they've been very, very strict down there. So South Africa implemented one of the world's strictest lockdowns after recording its first coronavirus-related death in March. The regulations ban jogging, dog walking, shuttered parks and ban the sale of alcohol and cigarettes. Even in the eased restrictions, masks and social distancing will be mandatory, and an overnight curfew will be implemented. Employees must still work from home, gyms and restaurants will remain closed, and schools will not reopen until June 1st. The country quickly sprang into action in March over fears that the population heavily affected by HIV and AIDS would particularly be susceptible to the new coronavirus. Beginning on Friday, miners will be able to return to work underground and a move crucial to the economy. In an industry already overwhelmed by high rates of HIV and the tuberculosis infections, more than 13% of South African population is HIV positive, meaning nearly 8 million people have compromised immune systems. So obviously that's a great thing for them to start slowly reopening. Even though they're being probably as strict as like we are now, or we were. It's just a great thing to see that we're starting to reopen the country, even if that includes the tourism like in China, or opening up coffee shops again and stuff like that. So I'm glad to see that. Next headline we have is Hong Kong deploys extra police officers to prevent expected protest. It says the police in Hong Kong deployed thousands of additional officers on Friday after an anti-government activist vowed to return to the streets after the city's coronavirus outbreak has stabilized. It says about 3,000 officers in riot gear were deployed on Friday, the Labor Day holiday, in the semi-autonomous Chinese city to conduct a high-profile patrol in local news media, according to local news media. The police said in a statement that they would nimbly deploy manpower to maintain public safety and public order in response to calls for action to disregard the government law. Protesters organized online called for spontaneous demonstrations on Friday for a 4-day campaign to support small businesses and to support pro-democracy. So obviously they've been having that big thing with Hong Kong and China since last year, really. I mean, hundreds of years, really, but it seems like it's really gotten big and popular in the news now. But a lot of that stuff died down with the coronavirus, and I guess that they're trying to bring it back. It's intriguing because if you live under a certain way, like democracy, for so many years of your life, and then it gets taken away, or it's almost taken away from you, a lot of people aren't going to accept that, and that's exactly what's happening in Hong Kong. People are just trying to they're trying to maintain their way of living. No one wants to go to an authoritative way of living. No one wants to be controlled by a dictator, and people just don't like that. I know China isn't a dictator, but in some cases it could be perceived as that, so they're just trying to play their part. As an American, I love democracy, so that's all I gotta say. Next headline we have final headline we have, really, just kidding, that's a lie, but it says, who should wear face mask on plane? More airlines say everyone. So a lot of airlines nationwide, industry-wide, are starting to require people and crew to wear face masks, including American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Southwest. Just more and more airline places are starting to bring in this whole idea that they need to wear more masks. Right now, I mean, planes are still flying. They're not flying like they used to, though. They're not packed full of people, but still, the pilots are wearing masks. The holy cow, what are they called? Flight attendants are wearing masks. But I guess they're going to start regulating it, so people should start wearing masks, even the passengers at all times, because it's just, it's a safety precaution. You can't really beat that. It says as some places begin to relax or lift their stay-at-home orders, lawmakers and union representatives, flight attendants, and pilots have stepped up for calling an industry-wide rule on masks to protect flight crews from passengers and passengers from one another. So obviously that's a fantastic thing to see when it comes to just the overall protection of our airlines and the people on the airlines, because in the end, it's industry. More money in means more money out. So yeah, that's about all the headlines we have for today. One other thing I want to bring up is yesterday, LeBron James leaked the logo for the new Space Jam movie, and holy cow, that got me so hyped. Space Jam is one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, it's not a cinematic masterpiece. It's kind of crude and mundane in the like the graphics department, but it's the story that matters, and it's the people that were in it too. Like having all these basketball stars: Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. Was Patrick Ewing in that movie? I don't know. So many fantastic basketball players in it, and it's super cool to see that they're bringing it back. I want to see who's all casted in it. I know LeBron James is going to be the Michael Jordan of this one, but it's called, what was it called? I think it's Space Jam: A New Generation or A New Era. Let me double check. LeBron posted this, I think. Also on social media, bro, they've been people like sports centers like losing their minds, dog. Yes, it's Space Jam: A New Legacy. So that's hype, dude. Okay. Let me step back for a second. Social media has been whack lately, and obviously I need to get off it because like today I was making breakfast. No, I wasn't making breakfast. I was eating breakfast, and I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw a post from Sports Center, and it was just slap contest. Like they had this pretty big dude going against a little like scrawny dude, and they're just like slapping each other, right? And it's like, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess, but man, why? What's the point? Like it was like they said the caption was like, "This is intense," and it's like, yeah, sure it is intense, but I guess it's a sport. But I feel like I mean, whenever there's no sports, they're grasping for something, dude. Um, it's difficult from a business standpoint. What do you want to talk about? I know I'm surprised like Stephen A is still talking about stuff. I know there's so much going on in the world of sports, like the NFL draft just happened, but at the same time, I feel like there's only so much you can talk about stuff before you just start repeating yourself, or you just make it into a show and then you start making up false discourse that doesn't make sense. I just don't understand making up media, and in this case, putting a slap contest on there whenever it's just like, okay, who cares, And that's just me though. But yeah, that concludes our segment about the news. Headlines are looking better, not the greatest. I believe I read somewhere else that the stock market's down again. It's another day in quarantine, I guess. But now we can talk about the second part, and that's what I'm doing for today / what happened to me yesterday. So yesterday was a really, really good day, man. After my podcast, I did some schoolwork. I got an email from Mizzou saying that I need to take my math placement test. So I took my placement test, found out that I need to go back to pre-calc, and that sucks because as a calc student, I feel like I've been wasting my time. Anyways, yeah, for calc we're chilling. I got a calc final on Thursday, and then I have on the 11th, no, on the 12th, I have my my AP test. So obviously that's going to be cheated on. Not by me though, because I don't cheat. But you foster a situation in which you can cheat. Everyone's going to cheat. I got to put myself in a place where I'm competitive with other people. So if I happen to look at a book or two, or look on the websites or internet, that's not a penalty on me. Then again, also AP released a statement saying that you can use your books and references and stuff. So that's good. It's just like, why, do you really deserve that credit at that point? And it's not the same. Learning online what we've been doing the last couple of days is not the same as like learning in a classroom. So I definitely understand just letting go on that, and just working something out. But yeah, so I took my placement test. I got the pre-calc area, so that's better than college algebra because I guess I understand algebra enough. So I took that. I finally got my Mizzou email. Holy cow, dude! I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I've had my email, and it said I've been getting emails to this email, but I didn't know how to get it, and then it finally like showed me once I tried taking my placement test. So I have my Mizzou email now, so that's good. We're doing class registration soon. That's gonna be weird because we're supposed to do it at Mizzou, but we're not doing it anymore, and we got our refund for our summer vacation thing. So we're just gonna do it online, I guess. Excuse me. And then after that, after I took my test, we had enchiladas for dinner, and then my dad and I played bags. And when we played bags, we were just playing. My dad's had these boards for a couple years now. We just have never really played on them, so we started playing on them again. So that's great. I'm horrible at bags, but now that sparked a new drive in me to get good at bags. So you'll start seeing me in my backyard playing some bags, I guess. Anyways, moving on. Our friend Giovanni and Mary came by. They stayed in their truck, and we just talked to them. We caught back up. Had just some talk. They're friends that usually go down to the dunes with us, and we haven't been able to see them in a long time. And seeing them again was just great, and being able to catch up and talk to them was fantastic. We just can't wait for this pandemic to die down a little bit, and we could start socially interacting with people again, because life's difficult without that. And then after that, my friends and we had a projector movie night outside, breaking quarantine a little bit. But I mean, I guess to rest me or whatever, but just thinking about this, I don't see the difference between today's May 1st, hanging out now, and then hanging out May 3rd or May 4th, because what's 2 days going to make a difference? I guess maybe for some people it makes a difference, but in a case where I've just been staying at home all day, what's the difference? If all my other friends have been staying at home, what's the difference? So we did that. We watched I Am Legend, a great setup. My friend Austin held this. He made us pizza. He had us drinks. He made us popcorn. We all brought lawn chairs. He had a nice speaker. I was really surprised that it produced the sound it did. Nice speaker. We played the audio from it. And a projector, and he actually had a screen, so it was really, really cool. We watched I Am Legend, fantastic movie. Quick review though, I think the only thing this movie suffers from is that all the infected people just have the same like skin, if that makes sense. It's like obviously they're copies of each other, and it just didn't seem like there's unique qualities to each of the zombies. It's like a 10-year-old movie by now, or it's 13 years old now, so sorry for the spoilers. But one of the most weirdest things I noticed about the movie is it was eerily similar to what we're going on now. So like, if you guys don't know, it's like there's like this disease that's going through that's like turning people into zombies. And what happened was there's like they intercut flashbacks throughout the movie, and they flashed back to when the outbreak first started, and then you hear on the news they're like, I'm trying to think what they said. It was something about how there's an outbreak now. The government or the mayor is going to shut down the city of New York. They said that New York was going to be ground zero. Coincidence? I don't know. And then so they were going to shut down the island, quarantine everyone. And then they were like, we have hopes that it's going to change in 3 weeks. Sounds exactly like what happened here with Corona. But, when you think about movies like that, like the first time I watched it, I didn't think anything of that. I was like, oh, no way, that'll happen in real life. And then it's happening now. Granted, we're not having freakish zombie dudes that can't stand in the sun running around, but we still are, being affected in a way like this, in a way that just doesn't seem right. Also, dude, I've been very nasally. I don't know if it's the allergies or what, but I've been very like clogged up, and my voice does not sound great recently. Anyways, we watched that movie. Great movie, fantastic movie, one of my favorite movies I've seen. Then we watched one of my other favorite movies. I feel like every movie is my favorite. Big Trouble in Little China. So I brought this DVD. My uncle gave it for me on Christmas. We watched that. None of my friends knew what it was about. I obviously knew what it was about, and my friends were in for a trip because they didn't know what was going to inspire and what was going to unfold. And if you've ever seen the movie, it's insane, and there's just craziness to it. So we watched that. I had to leave. I left about midnight. Got home. It was about 12:30. Went to bed. I woke up about. How did I wake up? I woke up my alarm went off at 7. I was a little tired. You can obviously see I'm a little tired. I was a little tired, so I just kept hitting snooze, and then I kept sleeping. And I had my alarm on my phone to wake me up at 8. And then it was so weird because I'd go to sleep, I'll wake up in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, is it 8? I sleep past my alarm, and then I'd look over, and it would be like 7:45. And then I'd do the same thing, and be like 7:50. And I'd do the same thing, and it was like 7:56. And I'm like, okay. So I did it again. I was like, maybe I'll just sleep through my alarm. And then I woke up and it was 7:59. It's like, of course, of course. So then I, roll over, turn off my alarm, then just got up out of bed and then hit my workout. I figured if I'm going to wake up in this like small amount of time, then it's no reason for me just to stay in bed. So I got up, did something productive, worked out, did my legs, squat, body squat workout, power jump stuff. My knees hurt now, but that's whatever. So yeah, later today, I think after this podcast, I'm going to go to my school and play some spike ball. Never really played spike ball before, but I was invited to go play. And then after that, I might go to the academy. I know, spooky store, right? I might go to academy and get some running shoes. The running shoes I've had were my track shoes from last year, and holy cow, I use those for my workouts like every single day. And the bottoms are just like flat, like they're smooth. And I never thought I'd really wear down shoes like that without skateboarding or something. But those boys are just smooth. They hurt my feet now because there's like no cushion in it anymore. So I've been I'm gonna get me a new pair of shoes, and I don't know if I'm gonna go Nike, Adidas, or New Balance. Brooks are great shoes. I just think they're ugly. And personally, I don't like plastic shoes. I have plastic shoes right now, and like Asics and stuff. They're good for your feet. They're great for your feet. But come on, man, you gotta look for the shoe game too. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm gonna do that today. And then just rolling right into this, my third segment of the podcast, before I just start ranting for way too long. And the title of this podcast is A New Appreciation. Because of this quarantine, I've had a new appreciation in life. And this just really comes into my philosophical nature that isn't very philosophical. It's more of me just spouting out what comes to mind. And let's get a little more intimate here. But just whatever comes to mind in my wicked wild brain. Sometimes I just think, and then it's like, huh. So some Trevosophy I've been having. My hair looks really whack. I need a haircut, dude. I really want my barber to open up again. But anyways, I've just had a new appreciation for life lately. And if that's because nothing's happening and I've just had time to slow down, I think that is it. There's a feeling in life that I kind of chase, but it's something that I only really felt as a child. And I don't know how to describe it, but it was a warm feeling. When you don't have any responsibilities, all you have to do is take down the trash. You just get to play all day. It's something that, every kid likes and every kid wants, but it's something that as you grow older, you lose track of. And I really do not know how to describe this feeling, but I was thinking about this yesterday. This quarantine has definitely made me slow down and pay attention to the details in life. But yesterday when I was playing bags with my dad, I was like just chucking them, playing, and I was like, I never thought I'd be doing this in a long time, in a while. I mean, not playing with my dad or anything, but just like being able to just chill out and play bags, because it's been go 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 all ever since high school started. I've been really involved, and now I can chill and relax. And granted, I'm a little bored now, but just looking back and stuff, there's just so many good things about life that get overlooked. Before quarantine, I took a lot of stuff for granted, and I didn't really pay attention to how my actions impacted others, or how my actions impacted, more importantly, myself. And yeah, when I was playing bags with my dad, I noticed that my neighborhood has changed a lot. Now, in the day-to-day life, I was like, you don't really think about it. You're like, oh, they moved, and now we got new people living there. But like, when all your neighbors that were there aren't there anymore, and then all the new neighbors are there but they're out, it's weird to see just that changing environment. And I think that could also reflect a point in my life where it's like, I haven't changed or grown as a person, but at the same time, life keeps going on. So I think that's just an eye-opening experience, that what you need to do sometimes is just think about how you can grow as a person. Now, this is just me spouting some random Trevosophy, but sometimes you gotta initiate, or some little thing's gonna initiate a spark in you to change, And in this case, it was me wanting to enjoy the moment in life. In my journal here, the journal that I talk about all the time, the one I got in Venice, Italy, flex by the way. Um, Whenever I got that, I've been writing emotions and feelings and stuff in there, and there's something in there, and I say it multiple times, that I need to slow down and appreciate life, but I was never really truly able to do that until recently. And I think in the wake of this pandemic, horrible situation to be now, like, finding an appreciation for life, but in the wake of this, I've definitely slowed down and just figured out a way to appreciate what I'm doing, who I'm with, and then just be able to enjoy the people I'm around, and it's a great thing to see, and it's fantastic. But, going back to that feeling, it's like I would go over to my friend's house, and then we had no sense of responsibility. All we had to do, and all we really could do, was just play video games all day, and that was so much fun. Now I play video games, but I have a looming pressure on me. There's a pressure that's unseen, but it's felt, and I think this is just me spouting some random philosophy too. That's why I feel like I've acne in this time. Like, usually in the summer I have no acne, and that's just because, what do I have to do? Mow the lawn? Go work out? There's nothing stressful. But like right now, I have to worry about taking a placement test for college. I have to worry about my AP test that's coming up, my finals that aren't going to even drop my grade any. So why are we taking finals? I just don't understand. And all this like unnecessary pressure has led me into a way that I need to figure out. I need to control what I can control and just accept what I can't control. And in this case, I think this calming nature is me accepting that I can control what I can control, and then whatever happens, happens. And it's something I've definitely lived by for a while, but it's just now coming apparent that I need to do it more. And it's good, because slowing down is giving me an opportunity to find a new appreciation for life. Now, what you just heard was probably just a roller coaster of emotions. But, that's just what's going on in my brain right now, man. Because I'm feeling one way, and I need to start appreciating stuff more. But it's whatever. And, going on with that, it's like yesterday when I was with my friends. So there's a thing called disassociation with your what's it? Okay, I'll Google this real quick. Hello? I definitely just kicked off my my whatchamacallit, my mic thing. Disassociation. I kicked out my mic cable, so that's why like you probably just got an ear curling screech real quick. But dissociative identity disorder is previously known as a personality disorder, is a mental disorder characterized by the maintenance of at least two distinct and relatively endured personality traits. I don't think that's what I have. Yeah, that is not what I have. Actually, sort of. Dissociative identity disorder, previously called multiple No, I do not have multiple personalities. That is wrong. I think it's more of a philosophy of just disassociation, and what I understand that to be is you feel like you're just kind of going through the motions. This is getting really deep and personal, but sometimes I feel like I'm just like I'm living, and I'm just like doing my thing, but I feel like half the time I'm not really there, and I think that's just due to the nature of how my life's been. It's been just getting go 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 go, and yesterday I was with all my friends and stuff, and I didn't really know or really like feel like I was with them. I just felt like I was there watching a movie with all my friends with me, but not with me. I don't know. It's a hard thing to describe, but it definitely affects other people. But like the day before, we hung out in the Liberty North parking lot, and I could feel that. I could feel the connection between my friends there, and that's something I haven't felt in a long time. And that sounds really, really depressing, but it's part of life, and I think this quarantine has definitely given me a new appreciation for life, and then my ability to reassociate with myself and my connection with my peers and stuff. And that's just a fantastic opportunity. So before I rant on too much and then get too deep with y'all, I think I'm gonna cut it off there. Um, Definitely what we need to do in life, and what a big aspect of just figuring yourself out is slowing down, appreciating the smaller things in life. And that's so corny and cheesy to say, but appreciate the things you do, even in the moments. Here's another example. I keep trying to end it, but I don't end it. Yesterday, Wednesday, I really, 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 really wanted to re-upload my Trimmin vlog, the vlog that got me ISS, the vlog that got me kicked out of debate, the vlog that kicked off my journalism career and talking to cameras and stuff. And I was looking through all my footage and I couldn't find it. Very disappointing. The Trimmin vlog's up there, and part of the stuff that got me ISS is on there, but the stuff that really got me ISS isn't. I think it was because at the time I was told to delete the footage, so I deleted it. Big dummy mistake on my part. I should not have deleted it. I know I kept a copy of it. I don't know where that copy is. It was probably on an SD card that I formatted some while ago. And it doesn't help that these stupid Sony cameras, like I used this for my debate vlogs for the longest time. People really liked this camera because I looked like a goon holding a camcorder. I had that, and then I had a little pocket one. The little pocket one is actually in my bag right here. Let me pull it out. And I eventually switched to this one. This one's a fantastic camera because it has this little flippy screen, and people love it. I brought this to Europe. This thing was a tank. It's falling apart a little bit right now, but it's still a great camera. Anyways, it records in a format called AVCHD, and it's a Sony format, and it's a great format. Just what sucks and the way it saves is you have to click open a file, and then in this file you have to use your arrow keys to try and figure out which file it is. It's not like a new clip that's saved. It's clips inside of a file, and you have to export it and stuff, and it's just not a great way of really finding storage for a video. But anyways, stop rambling about that. Most of the times, the way I archived my footage, I'll just drag all the footage into a folder, call it that, and edit in that folder. Well, I guess since this whole mistake happened and I was told to delete all my footage and stuff and take it down, what I did was am I losing frames? Yeah, I've dropped a few frames. Interesting. I guess I deleted the footage and I couldn't find it. But while I was trying to find it, I looked through all my other video files, and you forget about all the good times you have, and that's what I think. That's what I pride myself in. And that's just me recording everything I do. As cheesy as it sounds, recording everything is just a great way to, document your life. And I've definitely done a great job of that throughout my high school and middle school years. Sometimes I got bored of it and I didn't want to vlog all the time. But, I think vlogging and just recording yourself, even if it's not even necessarily vlogging, but just home video style, is fantastic. And I think I definitely want to keep doing that and document my journey throughout the rest of my life, because looking back at it and looking back at stuff like that is phenomenally awesome. It's just a heartwarming experience. And then looking back, it's wow, I had a good time with these friends, I had a good time with those friends. Will I ever have those good times with these people ever again? Maybe not, but I have it documented as a time in my life that I can always go back and look at it. And I think that's just the great nature of being able to fight the beast, in this case of becoming, I don't know. So you got to live in the moment. That's all I got to say. And I felt okay, this is me going back and forth. I felt like vlogging also made me live out of the moment, because I wasn't really controlling my life, or I wasn't just there enjoying it. But it's something I love to do and something I want to keep doing. So vlog, guys, that's my advice. Find a new appreciation in life and just slow down. So yeah, that's been my wild, wacky story on how I've found a new appreciation for life. Sorry, this podcast has been all over the place. I don't know if I'm tired. It looks like I'm tired. I have some bags under my eyes. Maybe I need to take a nap later today. But yeah, I apologize for that. This is going to be the way it is for the next week or so. Since it's May and quarantine ends May 3rd, I don't really know if I'm going to keep going on this podcast. It's called Trevantine, but we're not really quarantined anymore. So I might kick it off with a bang. I don't know what the bang is going to be, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's been 35 episodes. This whole podcast has been a trip. I love doing this. I might pick back up on doing Trev Talks because essentially Trevantine has become just Trev Talks. I know on my my broadcasting class, I signed up for another week of doing Trevantine. Maybe I could talk to my teacher about it because it doesn't make sense to keep doing Trevantine when you're not quarantined anymore. But that's just my opinion. So this is going to be the way it is for a while. Keep washing your hands. Be safe. Don't get sick, guys. And until next time, I'll catch you on the north side.